I'm so excited. I've got myself some Houjicha powder. Let's use it. Hi oh, I better put that down before I start waving my hands around. Hi everyone, it's Tasha and welcome to another recipe video, and today we're going to be making Houjicha cake, and I promise you it's going to be super light, super fluffy and super easy. Yes, I have bought myself some Houjicha powder. I'm really excited. I love Houjicha. It's basically roasted green tea. So you've probably seen me using matcha a lot. That's just green tea that's been ground up, so it's lovely and bright green. Houjicha is also a type of Japanese green tea, but instead of being green and fresh, it's been roasted so it takes on a darker colour. You usually drink it tea leaf style, so instead of being ground up like matcha, you have the whole tea leaves that are dried, pour boiling hot water on them, and you have a lovely roasted tasty green tea, or rather brown tea, but we still count it as green tea. Kind of doesn't make sense. Anyway, take my word for it, it's a type of green tea. And I love me a good Houjicha latte, and the easiest way to do that, rather than brewing a really strong tea with the tea leaves, is just to get some Houjicha powder, which I've bought here. It's super fine, so it whisks up with milk and water really nicely, and you can make it really concentrated, so it makes it a bit easier to make a latte. And it's really good for cake too. Bought this from a matchaologist, whom I also buy some of my matcha from sometimes. Not a sponsorship, by the way, just like them. And as you can see, it is very fine, so it's very easy to mix into stuff. Easier than matcha actually, because matcha does tend to clump. I find Houjicha a little bit easier to work with, and today we're going to make a super fluffy Genoise sponge with it. Don't be scared by the fancy French sounding name. A Genoise sponge is just one that has all the eggs whipped up until they're nice and foamy like a mousse before being folded into the flour. It's no harder than making a regular sponge cake, especially with my method because I cheat. With a traditional Genoise sponge, you have to whisk the eggs over a warm water bath, a hot water bath, so it slightly cooks it as you're foaming up to stabilise it. I completely bypass that step. I just whisk the eggs as they are, no water bath. And it still works, and I've been doing this method for a few years. So it's even quicker and even easier. So with all of that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First, we're going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees C. Now we have 4 whole eggs. And I'm going to add 145 grams of caster sugar and a pinch of salt. And we're going to whisk this up until it's as thick and fluffy as a mousse. This will probably take about 5 minutes, maybe 10. Or it would if I would turn the machine on. And we are done. You can see it's forming thick ribbons when we trail it like this. So this is moussey enough. Let me just turn the light on. I've been going in and out of focus, and I think that's because the lighting is not quite right, so let me just rectify that. Much better, hopefully. Now we're going to sift in 100 grams of self-raising flour, and also we're going to add some Houjicha powder. This is our powdered roasted green tea. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoonfuls, roughly. And we're going to take a balloon whisk and we're going to gently fold it. What I like to do is I like to scoop right from the bottom, and then I gently tap the balloon whisk so that it all falls through. And lastly, we're going to fold in just a teaspoonful of milk and 15 grams of melted unsalted butter, which we've also let cool down a little as well. We don't want hot butter in that. Give this a gentle fold too. For the final few turns, I prefer to switch over to a spatula because then I can scrape the sides down, and also make sure none of the butter has sunk right to the bottom. But we're just using very big, gentle folding motions here. Don't want to lose any of that lovely, precious air. And this is already done. We don't want to overbeat it. Now here I have 2 8-inch round baking pans, which I have greased with a little butter and lined with non-stick baking paper. And we're going to, as evenly as possible, divide our mixture between the two. Now we're going to bang each one on the counter a few times to get rid of big air bubbles. And now we're going to bake these for 20 to 25 minutes. While our cakes bake, let's make a simple syrup that we're going to brush them with. We've got 50 grams of caster sugar here. I'm going to add 50 milliliters of water. Give it a little swirl. Pop it on the heat, and we're going to bring it to the boil. And once we bring it to the boil, then we're going to wait for 3 minutes. So let's let it boil first. Now once we have a proper rolling boil like this, we're going to wait for 3 minutes. It's now been 3 minutes. Let's switch the heat off, and we're going to take this off the heat and let it cool completely. It's been 20 minutes, which is enough for these. They are nice and puffy. Let's let them cool down. Once your cakes are cool, you're going to want to evenly distribute your syrup all over the top of both. This is going to help them stop them from drying out. And I'm just going to give this about 5 minutes to sink in. To finish off our cake, I have 500 milliliters of whipping cream. I'm going to add a tablespoonful of Houjicha, a nice heaped tablespoonful, and 2 tablespoonfuls of caster sugar. And we're going to give this a good old whip up. Lovely, and now I'm going to scoop this all into a piping bag with a round tip, which I've popped in a glass here to make it a bit easier to fill. Now I've already popped one cake out onto my serving plate. Let's peel it off. Oh, that is so satisfying. And now we're going to pipe blobs around the edges of our cake. Because I want to have enough to decorate the top, so I've got the rest of our cream, which we didn't put in our piping bag. It all depends on how you want to do things. I'm going to pile it on the top in the middle. I'm saving just a little bit as well here, because you're not going to see this in the middle when we put the top on. Now let's put the top cake on. There we go. I'm putting it wrinkly side down so we have a nice flat top. Gently press the two sides together. It's going to look fabulous from the side. And we have the rest of our cream, which we're going to dollop on top again. And there is a little bit of cream left, but save this, put it in a little bowl and put it on top of coffee. It's so good. And finally, we're going to give an extra little sprinkling of Houjicha on top. This is about a scant teaspoonful, maybe a heaped half teaspoonful. Beautiful. Look at the sides of it too, absolutely gorgeous. Well, if it looks so good from the side, it looks even prettier all cut up. Look at the fluffiness on that. Ridiculously soft. Look at the, I don't know, the sponginess? Yes, the sponginess of it. You saw when I cut it in the slow-mo, my fork was almost too blunt to cut through it because it was so pillowy soft. Unlike a traditional Victoria sandwich style sponge, which has a bit more weight to it, a bit more heft to it, this is very airy light. I can already smell the Houjicha coming through, so let's take a bite. Cheers! Oh, this is such a good cake for the cold seasons. It's got that roasty, toasty flavour from the roasted green tea. And it also almost has some nutty, almost milk chocolatey notes to it too, the green tea. And you saw how quick and easy it was to make too, so why not try making a Houjicha cake for yourself? I love that the whipping cream's really light as well. You can use double cream or heavy cream as it's known in the US of A, but whipping cream is a lot airier, so if you like your cream dense, then go for double cream. If you like yours light, then go for the whipping cream. I'd say because it's such a light cake, the whipping cream pairs with it a bit better. So there you go, super fluffy Houjicha cake. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too, I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. And yes, my lack of eye makeup this week does indeed indicate that I'm still having eye allergy problems.